Wipeout today, Adrian Shakeshafter, an IT network manager from York, Audrey Foster, a publican from Hull, and Stephen Riley, a sales manager from West Bromwich. Now let's meet the star of the show, the Buckers.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. And welcome to our daily dose of facts, both well-known and obscure. Like, this is one that people don't know. Can camels close their noses? Can camels close their noses? Yes, they can. It seems unfair, really, that the people who have to ride them can't. But you see, it's the sandstorms. They have to close their nostrils and they clench them. Here's another one, odd fact. True or false? On a moonlit night, a boat weighs less in the water than it does during the day. It is true. Yeah, absolutely. Due to the gravitational pull of the moon. And we know this because fish have scales. Let's play one. Welcome, Steve and Audrey and Adrian, to the show. It's very nice to see.
Yeah.
What is it?
I'm afraid it's computers, yeah.
Yeah.
I work at the hospital in York, and I'm the person who usually gets the blame when everything goes wrong.
Do you have email?
Yes, we do.
York
yeah.
could have e-by-gum mail. What did you do before?
My job before was I worked on the weekend at art shops, an art shop in York.
Oh, you know about art?
No, nothing at all, I'm afraid. That's where I learnt, you know, how to bluff. You know, so it's improved my poker skills.
Oh, right. Were you selling original art?
Some original, mostly prints.
Famous celebrities like me, of course, are constantly asked to pose for our portraits. And what are you laughing at? And my family were very keen to see me on canvas, but I refused to climb into that ring with Lennox Lewis. Complex jokes, some of them, very complex. Sometimes I don't understand. What do you like to eat most in the world? If you had your last meal presented to you, what would it be?
Well, there's not much doubt for me. I'm afraid it'd have to be a curry.
How hot?
I'm not necessarily a Vindaloo man unless I've had a bit too much to drink. I like to be able to savour the taste of it.
Yes. They do a curry in our BBC canteen. I wouldn't suggest you try it. I said to the cook in there, I said, do you know the other definition of curry is something you do to a horse? And she said, what do you mean, other definition? Apart from our curry, does anything else frightens you?
I think this is probably the most frightening thing so far that I've done.
What do you mean?
Being on Wipeout, and I'm a bit scared that it'll be a complete disaster.
That's my job. I'm the one who makes a fool of himself on this programme, don't you dare. Audrey, it's
Hello.
great to see you again. How long is it?
12 years.
And tell the folks what you were on.
I was on Bob's Full House,
There you are.
1987.
We met before on Bob's Full House. Can you remember any of the jokes I did about you?
Unfortunately, no.
Ah, what do you mean unfortunately? I'm going to do them again now. Going to hear them all again. Now, I heard Tom Edwards say a pub landlady?
Yes.
Publican?
Yes, from the Odd Bottle pub in Hull.
Oh, the Odd Bottle. That's a nice name, isn't it?
It's lovely.
We have a little village pub where I live, and the landlady is a widow. And I every now and then I pop round for the usual. And if there's time afterwards, I have a drink. Yes, you're ahead of me. What did you do before?
I was a croupier. I worked in a casino in Edinburgh and cruise ships.
Wow, that's when I knew you before.
Yes,
were you doing the croupier?
Yeah, I had just finished. I was a housewife when I met you before, and I'd stopped in 1983.
Right. And did you do blackjack? Or?
I did blackjack, Punto Banco, roulette.
You're leaving me behind. I mean, for years I thought pontoon was an army version of bridge. And cruise ships.
Cruise ships. I worked on cruise liners and ferries for 2 years, and that's how I met my husband.
My oversexed sister was a cruise entertainer. She entertained the crews of the QE2, the crews of the Canada. Steve, you're a sales manager. Selling what, sir?
We sell damp-proofing equipment, spraying equipment, you know, that injects the silicone into the walls.
Oh, right, I got you. Have a look at my dressing room, would you please?
No problem.
The dressing they give me a dressing room here. It's so damp. Well, the rats wear life jackets. Now, you want to talk damp? This morning we caught a trout in the mousetrap. Thank you very much. So what do you squirt? Excuse me?
It's actual silicone and woodworm treatment fluids in the lofts, like, you know.
Not the same silicone.
No, not.
Our BBC handyman is so clumsy. He's squirted foam up my trousers. and I reported him for insulating behaviour. Have you been on television before?
I have. I've been on Wheel of Fortune, Bob.
Ah, did you meet the lovely lady?
I did. Jenny Pearl. She's gorgeous,
Ah,
yes.
she is. She works hard on that
Yes.
show. Oh, she turns around more letters than the post office. What do you do in your time off?
I like to have a game of golf, Bob.
Ah, golf. Too much like hard work for me. No, it's either swinging the wood or swinging the iron. I'd rather swing the lead. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please make my guests feel at home? That's all right. So, whoever stays the course and wins today's show stands the chance of setting a course to their own chosen destination. But before they depart, they've got to arrive at an awful lot of correct answers, like those on our first grid, which is entitled Really Useful Characters. Oh, this is about musicals. I hope you know something about musicals. I'm Amdram. Locally, I appear in Gilbert and Sullivan stuff. In The Mikado, I was Nanki Poo. In The Pirates of Penzance, I was a bit better. 11 of the 16 names on the grid belong to characters from the musicals of Andrew Lloyd Webber. 11 of them do. 5 do not. Let's look at the answers. 16 on the screen for our players to consider. 11 are answers that will set them on the right road, and 5 are bad ones which will land them in Queer Street. The right ones are worth £50. The wrong answers wipe out their cash pile completely. The lucky lots were drawn. That's why Adrian is going first. And your choice, sir.
Could I take Methuselah, please, Bob?
Methuselah, top left-hand corner. Is that a character in an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical? No. Biblical character didn't appear in a musical. So we come to you, Audrey, with 11 correct answers and 1 less wipeout.
Kit Kat Kittens, please.
Kit Kat Kittens. Are the Kit Kat Kittens anything to do with Andrew Lloyd Webber? No. Eben Kander wrote the musical Cabaret, and there were characters from that musical. So 2 wipeouts less. Lucky old Steve, I say.
I'll have Christine Day, please, Bob.
Well, that's up to Christine, isn't it? Nothing to do with me. Do you know the show?
Is it Phantom of the Opera?
Yeah, clever old sausage. Christine Daae. Yes, absolutely right. Your first £50 at the game. You're going to double it?
Yes, I'll go for Judas Iscariot.
And you know the show?
Jesus Christ Superstar?
I think you're right. Sung by Murray Head on the original recording. Judas Iscariot. £100 banked.
I'll go again, and I think we go for Jemima.
Jemima in the top right-hand corner. And again, the show?
Cats.
You are showing a clever turn of phrase. Jemima. Again, a Sarah Brightman part. She was wonderful.
I think we'll pass it on now, Bob, please.
Well, having given us such a dazzling display of wisdom, Adrian?
I would like to take Madeline Bassett, please.
Well, you may take Madeline Bassett if that's what you want to do. Do you know the show?
No.
Well, it was called Jeeves, and Madeline Bassett was played by Gabrielle Drake. Was it by Andrew Lloyd Webber? Yes, it was. Your first £50.
Right. I'll have another guess then at Grisabella, please.
Grisabella. We're back in Cat's country again. Memories, played by Elaine Page, sang the Memory song. Correct answer, a character from an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical. You have £100 banked.
Right, well, I think I'm pushing my luck now, so I'd like to pass it on, please.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Audrey, we come to you with 3 wipeouts, 6 correct answers. Quite a nice situation.
I'll have Baptista, please.
Baptista. I don't know what Baptista was. Do you?
I haven't a clue.
I don't associate that name with an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical, I'm afraid. I think you're going to hit a wipeout. Baptista. You know, that was a character in Kiss Me Kate. Ah. 2 wipeouts only. Ah, Steve, my goodness, 6 good answers.
I think we'll go for Wibbles.
Wibbles, that's on the bottom line. I know the character Wibbles from J.M. Barrie's play Peter Pan. Was the name borrowed by Andrew Lloyd Webber or his lyricist? No, strictly a Peter Pan character. Now, Adrian, I want you to think carefully. There's only 1 wipeout there. There's 6 correct answers. You could collect £300 off that grid.
Am I feeling lucky? I'll go for McGoldie on the top row, please.
Senor Magaldi, played in the movie by Jimmy Nail in the Madonna film of Evita. Was that by Andrew Lloyd Webber? Yes, he sang On This Night of 1,000 Stars.
Oh, I'll go for Rumpelteazer, please.
Rumpelteazer, you think You thinking cats?
I'm just totally guessing, I'm afraid. I'll go for cats, yes. I'm
You're
confident.
Okay, Rumpelteazer. Played by Bonnie Langford in the original production of Cats. She was Rumpelteazer.
Oh, right. Okay.
Well, that's what they say.
And Jean Valjean, please?
Jean Valjean. Well, if we say it in French,
Jean Valjean.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. That was very good.
Thank you.
We have to ask ourselves, was the hero of Les Miserables actually dreamed up by Andrew Lloyd Webber with his music? No, Les Mis wasn't written by Andrew Lloyd Webber. This cost you £200 after that fine display. And recap scores is what I have to do at this point. How do I do that, folks? Well, I say to you, Adrian and Audrey and Steve have got nothing but vapor trail running through their bank accounts. However, Adrian, you've given us the most correct answers, so you go first on our next grid. Twinkle, twinkle. There are 88 constellations in the sky. Which 11 of the following 16 are genuine constellations? And, for example, like the Big Dipper. They call it the Big Dipper because it looks like a water scoop. And next to the Big Dipper is the Small Tipper, which looks exactly like Ken Dodd paying his cab fare. Okay, here are 16 answers. There are 88 constellations in the sky, which 11 of these 16 are genuine. Okay, here we go with a first answer from Adrian.
Can I take Little Bear, please, Bob?
You take a little bear. How cute. A little bear, please. Ursa Minor.
The Hunter, please.
The Hunter. Okay, I thought he was a gladiator. Hunter. Yes, well chosen. Orion, said to be the brightest and grandest constellation in the entire sky.
I'll take the Twins, please, Bob.
Gemini. You shall have them. Contains the stars Castor and Pollux. There's comedian's material for you. Okay, let's see Gemini. Thank you very much.
I'll go for the Hunting Dogs, please.
This seems to be an area that you know something about, sir. Hunting dogs. The Northern Hemisphere, the two dogs.
I'd like to pass, I think.
£200 back, you've done very well indeed. Audrey, we come to you without finding a single wipeout yet. 7 correct answers, though.
I'll try the pendulum clock.
The pendulum clock on the right-hand side of the grid. Very faint in the southern sky. Do we see the pendulum? We do.
I'll try the winged horse.
The winged horse in the bottom left-hand corner, representing Pegasus. Is that a constellation? It is.
I'll try the water snake, please.
Audrey's betting £100 on the water snake. The largest constellation, yet far from prominent, the water snake.
I shall now try the keys, please.
The keys on the right-hand side of your grid is either going to cost you £150 of the money you've won, or it's going to make them up into £200. So we look for the keys. Audrey, it sounded very stellar, but I'm afraid the keys are just an area in southern Florida. And so we come to you, Stephen, with 4 right, 4 wrong.
I'll try Cleopatra's Needle. Please.
Cleopatra's Needle, I know that is a site in London, a monument in London on the side of the Thames, but is it also a constellation? Nope. You didn't lose anything. I mean, you've helped Adrian a bit by removing another wipeout.
I'll like to have a go at the wolf, please, Bob.
Well, you'd like to have a go at the wolf. All right. You feel it's...
Well, the Hunter was right. So
Yes. Stick
stick with gladiators, I say.
I like your logic. £250 if it's right. The wolf. In the southern sky, we see constellation the wolf.
I'll go for the Virgin, please.
You're going to bet £250 on your feeling that the Virgin is a constellation. You think it gave us Virgo?
Yeah, you never know.
You know-
I'm hoping so.
All right, the Virgin, please. Yes, you get Virgo from the Virgin, and you get another £50, bringing you to 300 back. There's only 2 correct answers remaining on the grid.
I think I'll pass now,
I think
please.
that's very wise indeed. Now, Audrey, 2 correct answers. Adrian has £300. You and Steve have both given us 3 correct answers. If you want to go through to the next round, you'd better find one or both of the correct answers up there. What are the correct answers? The elephant's trunk, Berenice's hair, the thistle, weeping willow, the fly.
As a pure guess, I'll try the thistle, please.
Well, being a lady with Scottish background, You're attracted by the Scottish emblem?
Yes.
But is it a constellation?
I hope so.
Oh, no money lost, but no money won either. Steve, this is your chance to go through to round 2.
I think we'll try Weeping Willow.
Weeping Willow. It would make a beautiful picture of a constellation if it were caught out in stars in the sky. But would we see that if we looked up the Weeping Willow? We wouldn't. Now, here's a situation full of drama. Adrian has £300. He's given us 10 correct answers. He's way ahead. But everything depends on his avoiding the one wipeout on the grid. 2 of those answers are right. Elephant's trunk, Berenice's hair, the fly. 1 is wrong.
I'll go for Berenice's hair, please, Bob.
Why?
I can't imagine a fly or an elephant's trunk. I know one of them must be right, but...
And you've decided Berenice's hair has a poetic feel to it?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Sounds like constellation. Berenice's hair. Yes. Well played. The Egyptian queen offered her hair locks to God in return for her husband's safe return from battle. And so that became a legend. And you have £350 and you're going to pass, aren't you?
I think I will, yes.
So this is your chance to pass through to the second round. If you choose the correct one, Audrey.
Oh, dear. The elephant's trunk, please.
You're letting the fly fly away.
Yes.
And you're picking the elephant's trunk.
Yes.
Let's see if you qualify for a £50 raise. Elephant's trunk. Oh, dear. Elephant's trunk is just an elephant's trunk. The fly, however, is a small polar region in the southern sky. Oh, wow. Look at that. I'm supposed to recap scores again, but it's pretty tough. Adrian has £350 banked, and that's very good indeed. Audrey and Steve both gave me 3 correct answers, but Audrey, unfortunately, gave me more incorrect answers than Steve. And so it's to Audrey that I must turn and say, well, we must meet again in another 12 years.
Thank you.
Even if it's only to deliver your Wipeout paperweight in person.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for playing with us.
Thank you.
Well, I thank you very much. And now it's our Wipeout auction. You know, there's lots to play for. As our players bid for the grid, it's all about give and take, really. They have to predict how many right answers they can give, otherwise their opponent will take control. The biggest bidder, of course, has first go. And here's the title of the first grid. It is. Same time next year, 8 of the titles on our grid, you'll see 12 answers, of course, but only 8 are public holidays or holy days, which happen on the same date every year. 8 of them always happen on the same date. The other 4 are movable feasts. They'll occur every year, but not necessarily on the same date. You need to identify them correctly and avoid the 4 movable dates. Here are the 12 answers. Eight are well written and 4 are well rotten. Adrian, how many do you think you could name?
I'd like to go for 2, please.
Really? Oh, I like an honest man, but my goodness, you know, I have a bid of 2 from Adrian. Can he do better, please?
I think I'll go for 3, Bob.
3. Gosh. Can you? Any advance on 3?
I'll go for 5, please.
You for 5? Here's a switch of policy. What a dizzying man you are, Aid. Steve?
Name them, Adrian.
Here we go. 5 of them from Adrian. The first one is what?
Christmas Day, please, Bob.
Can't be much doubt about the 25th of December.
Bastille Day.
It's always the 14th of July.
Thanksgiving Day.
Thanksgiving Day. The 4th Thursday in November.
Oh,
That can change from year to year.
sounds right with 2.
Steve, give me 1 correct answer, you'll steal the grid.
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day. Is that always the 17th of March? Yes, it is. Wipe away the wipeouts. Get rid of Palm Sunday, May Day Bank Holiday, and Mothering Sunday, all of which can be on different dates as they come round each year. And so, here we have Steve leading 1 grid to 0. He gets first bid on our second grid. This is the title. Doug's Dames. 8 of the 12 names on our grid are actresses who've co-starred or played the female lead in a Hollywood film starring Michael Douglas. Opposite Michael Douglas, We want 8 ladies who've appeared in those movies, and here are 12 possible answers. How many do you think you could name who've co-starred with Michael Douglas, Steve?
I'll go with 4, Bob.
I have a bit of 4. Adrian, any advance on 4?
I'll let him play, please.
Okay. 4 leading ladies with Michael Douglas movies, starting now.
Glenn Close,
The film was Fatal Attraction.
Kathleen Turner,
Romancing the Stone, Jewel of the Nile, and War of the Roses.
Sharon Stone,
Basic Instinct. One more correct answer will win the grid, and you'll play for your holiday on today's show, Steve.
Goldie Hawn.
Everything depends on Goldie Hawn being a leading lady for Michael Douglas. Cross your fingers, Steve. Goldie Hawn has never co-starred with him. One correct answer will steal the grid. Adrian, can you do it?
I'd like to take Demi Moore, please, Bob.
I'm sure you would. And Bruce Willis wouldn't stand in your way these days, I believe. Let's find out if you're right, because if you are, you'll be 1 grid all. Demi Moore. Yes, in disclosure. The Wipeouts, apart from Goldie Hawn, were Michelle Pfeiffer, Susan St. James, and Meryl Streep. It's 1 grid all. Let's see what the decider is. Yeah, it's elemental. Think back to your chemistry lessons now and picture the periodic table of elements. Which of these are amongst the first 10 elements in the table? Have a look. You won the last one. What's your bid?
I'll go for 2 again, please, Bob.
Go for 2, only 2. Although he can change his mind, folks, as you know. Steve, you'll do better than 2, can't you?
No, I'm going to ask him to name them, Bob.
Really? Gosh. Well, we've obviously hit on a subject that has never actually fascinated you, gentlemen. May I have 2 of the first 10 elements in the elemental table?
Oxygen, please, Bob.
You say oxygen, and it's number 8.
And hydrogen, please.
First on the table. Let's have a big tick. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. Away with the Wipeouts, which were Krypton, Freon, Atropine, and Pallium, all of which don't belong there at all. So, Adrian wins this round of the game and his right to play for our holiday. We have to say goodbye to Steve. Steve, you've been a good player, and it's been nice to meet you. Have you enjoyed your time?
I have, Bob, tremendously. Thank you.
That's great. We've got the champagne flutes for you, of course, as a souvenir. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve. Adrian, join me at the game control. This is Adrian, and Adrian comes from York, where he deals with a great deal of computer stuff for the hospital there, and he is married to the lovely Helen, and they have a cat called Ralph, and a dog called Jasper, and your surname is Shakeshaft.
Yeah.
A comedian's gift, but I won't take advantage of it. And you would like your Wipeout wings. You would like your Wipeout wings to take you where?
I've chosen Warsaw to be different.
In the West Midlands.
No, a bit further afield.
Oh, you mean... OK, well, we'll get your suitcase and make sure you're Warsaw packed. I'll stop it, Bob. Let's choose a subject. Your selection.
I'd like to have literature, please, Bob.
Yes, you seem a literate sort of a guy. Let's see what kind of literature it is. Mowgli's friends. Aha, we're in the land of the Jungle Book. Which of these creatures are animals that Mowgli meets in the Jungle Books by Rudyard Kipling? Remember, you got £350 in cash, tax-free. That's yours from the first round. OK, I wish you luck on this one. Let's have a look at the answers, please. 6 of those are creatures that Mowgli met in the Jungle Books. And you want to see a 6 up there in the top left-hand corner when you hit Bob's button. You've got a minute to win it. That's up there in the top right-hand corner. I'll let you know how it's going. Are you ready to try this, Adrian?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Good luck. And your minute starts now. Baloo and Kayla, that's 2 of them. Dali, that's 3. Shere Khan is 4. Bagheera is 5. And Kaa. And it's a quarter of a minute, and he hits the button, and you've got 5. 1 is wrong. Must take out the wrong one before you put in the right one. Takes out Charlie. Puts in Surabi. And we haven't used half a minute yet. And we've still got one wrong. Which can the wrong one be? Surabi takes that out. There's one there that's got to be Hatti. And we have 25 seconds left. And we have all 6. Well done, Adrian. Well done. Yes, didn't he do well? Who originated that phrase? Here's your ticket to foreign parts, and I wish you a wonderful holiday. And I hope you spend all of your 350 having a good time.
Sure will.
Adrian.
Thank you.
That's great. Hey, listen, you can't stop the big waves, but you can learn to surf. Yeah, that wipes me out. Till next time.
A 19th century dressing table and odd sugar moulds. Enjoy a taste for antiques next on BBC One with Going for a Song.